Hey kids, welcome back to English Year 4. Today we are looking at Module 10. The theme is The World Around Us and the title is What's the Matter? Today we are going to learn some life values. So you can turn to your textbook, Get Smart Plus 4, page 136. Before we start reading the story, let's learn some vocabulary.
Turtle, turtle, turtle. Turkey, turkey, turkey. Carrot, carrot, carrot. Controller, controller, controller. Turtle, turkey, carrot, controller.
Now that we have learned the 4 words, let's go to the story.
One. Listen and answer. Which is the best title for the story? Then read. It was a Wednesday afternoon and Dylan was in his room. His brother Vincent came in.
I've got the new Race It game. Let's play,
he said.
I can't. I've got a project to do,
said Dylan.
It's on a dinosaur species, the Dilong. Boring.
I know about the Dilong. I did a project about it 3 years ago. Listen, take my project. You don't have to do anything. Can we play now?
Said Vincent.
Okay,
said Dylan. The next day at school, Mr. Day asked Dylan to present his project. Dylan didn't know anything about the Dilong. He started talking.
The Dilong is one of the biggest dinosaurs. It liked eating turkeys and carrots. It looks like a turtle, but it's bigger than the T-Rex.
But the Dilong was smaller than the T-Rex. Mr. Day said,
Dylan, did you do this project yourself?
No,
said Dylan. The teacher thought, and then he said,
That's okay, but you have to do another project. You have to do it yourself.
I'm sorry,
said Dylan. He felt very bad about his mistake. Dylan decided to work hard that afternoon. His brother said to him,
I can help you. This way you can finish earlier and we can play. You can use my new controller too.
No thanks,
said Dylan.
I'm going to do the project myself. It's going to be great.
So, based on the story, there are 2 values that can be learned. Number 1 is, you shouldn't let others influence your correct decision making. That means you should not let other people, your brother, your sister, or your friends, to influence you, to invite you, to ask you to do something that is not your willing. Number 2, you should take responsibility for your mistakes. If you make any mistakes, be responsible and correct it or accept any punishment or seek consequences from the mistakes that you have made. Next, Let's look at the exercise. Listen and answer. Which is the best title for the story? So, we have three answers here. A smart teacher. B, Dylan learns a lesson. C, a helping hand. From the story that we read just now, we know that the story is about Dylan making mistakes and he tried to correct his mistake. So the best answer for this question is B. Dylan learned a lesson. Moving on to question number 2. Read again and put the pictures in the correct order. Write 1 to 4. So if we look at the story, we know that Dylan is doing his homework and then his brother came and asked him to play video games. Then he played the video games and then he went to school and he didn't finish his homework. Then the next day, Dylan has to do the homework again, but this time he didn't let his brother to interfere. So, which one do you think is the number 1? D is the number 1, and then number 2, B, number 3, A, and number 4, C. Next question, number 3. Read again and write true or false. Number 1. Dylan thought that his first project was interesting. So do you think that Dylan thought that his project was interesting? If we look back at the story, he said here, I've got a project to do, said Dylan. It's on a dinosaur species, the Dylan. Boring. So he said here, boring. So the answer must be false. Okay. Number 2. Vincent wanted to do the project for his brother. Is it correct that his brother wants to do the project? Let's look at the text. I know about the Dylan. I did a project about it 3 years ago. Listen, take my project, you don't have to do anything. Is he trying to do the project or he is giving the project? Yes, he gives the project without doing anything. So the answer is false. Number 3. Dylan didn't know a lot about Dylan. Is it true? If we look at the story, Dylan didn't know anything about Dylan. So the answer for number 3 is true. Number 4. In the end, Dylan was sorry that he didn't do the project himself. Does Dylan feel sorry for didn't do the project, or he just don't feel anything? So he said here, I'm sorry, said Dylan. He felt bad about his mistake. So number 4 answer is true. And lastly, number 5. Dylan wanted his brother help with the second project. Is it true that Dylan wanted his brother to help him? His brother said to him, I can help you this way. You can finish earlier and we can play. You can use my new controller too. No thanks, said Dylan. I'm going to do this project myself. It's going to be great. So he said no thanks to his brother. So number 5, the answer is false. Moving on to the last question. Complete the sentence to show cause Okay, number 1, Dylan wasn't excited about his project because. Why does Dylan feel not excited about his project? Because it was boring. According to Dylan, the project on the dinosaur is boring. Number 2, Dylan didn't do his project because, based on the story, why Dylan didn't do his project? Because he took the project that Vincent did 3 years ago. Okay, he didn't do the project himself because he just took the project from his brother Vincent. Number 3, Dylan couldn't present his project to the class because. Why Dylan couldn't present his project? Because he didn't know anything about it, the Dylan. Why he didn't know about it? Because he took the project from Vincent. Number 4, Dylan said he was sorry because he didn't do the project. So he felt sorry about it. And lastly, number 5, Dylan didn't want his brother's help because he wanted to do it himself. Okay, so that is all the question for the story life value about Dylan and Vincent. I hope you can learn something from this story, and remember, if you make any mistakes, you have to be responsible for it. So that's all for today. Thank you. Bye.